Here we go, patterdale terrier here. And make sure I dash hand over Stuffy. And Zena, the other patterdale, is getting herself a well-deserved drink. She's really been digging like a professional excavator. So she spent probably about getting the close best part of 10 minutes over on this stump. It's perfect for a veggie garden now because she's really softened the soil right up. You know, this is perfect potting mix now. So we have this fast growing softwood, whatever it is. This is in the middle of the city. There were signs of termites as well, but they've since been pretty much decimated. I can't see anything now. It was only small. And here we go, we're back. So there's something down there because Elvis doesn't normally get excited and make noise. He'll participate in the digging. But he's actually been making noise and been very focused down in here. So most likely some rodents. Most likely feral. And this is how we keep the dogs sane. These dogs actually work as therapy dogs with me, and they help keep people sane or bring people back to sanity. Mostly from trauma, anxiety, depression, substance issues, PTSD. There's no real PTSD as a state, you know, because once you post and you don't have the trauma anymore, then you don't have the trauma. Otherwise, you're still living with the trauma. There's no real post-traumatic stress. If you are post the trauma, you've gotten over the trauma, you're not living with the trauma, then that's not necessarily a syndrome. That's a healing pattern. So that's what these dogs do. They just be themselves and let people be comfortable and reach. And they stabilise the endocrine systems through the touch and all these other various immeasurable connections. And so this dog here is this is probably the best therapy dog in the world for returned soldiers with post-traumatic stress from things that they saw, things that happened to them, or things that they've done, or just the fact that they've been in a war zone and they're edging and jumping and they're sort of finding it difficult to fit in and find their place and connect to people. You know, it could be standing here on this hill talking to me, for instance, has to see which boats are going down that river. The work site over there, as soon as the machine starts, oh, what is that? What's going on? And so this is Xena. This is how she is all the time, ready to go. She's super affectionate to human beings. Over the top sooky. But this is the behaviour that she needs to be able to express frequently, regularly, in a full engagement like this, like they're fully engaged. I don't think there's very much chance of catching any rats down here because it's so deep. So they're hunting. This is hunting. These dogs are hunting right now. This is not a hunting simulation. This is hunting activity. The dogs are hunting. I can bring them on simulation exercises, and for all intents and purposes in those cases, the dogs are hunting, but they're not really hunting. They're just doing a hunting activity. In this case, they're hunting. This is not what they're bred for. They're bred for foxes. So they'll do this in a foxhole and they'll go down under the ground and they'll engage with foxes and their families underneath the ground. with incredible efficiency for such a small dog. This one was a very sad dog when I got her a year ago. She'd been a working dog, who'd then been sold to a breeder. She wasn't out working. That was the reason the docked tail. She was working, exterminating foxes, what she'd been bred for, patterdale terrier. We can do all kinds of different activities in civilian life, and the dogs will adjust, and they'll have the good temperament, be incredibly devoted, and they'll be kind of satisfied and content. But dogs like this, they need to be engaged in the hunting activity that they were bred specifically to do. These are earth dogs. This is Moo. She turned up all excited and just bit me 3 times on the calf muscles, both legs, and once on the shin. I had to let her do it and deal with it softly so she didn't tear my pants. So this is a breed that I created. This is exactly what I was trying to create. And this one here is exactly what I was trying to create. Patterdale Staffhound Bull Terrier. For the best friend for human beings. Temperament is what I was trying to develop and hone in on. But with full acceptance and understanding that these dogs need to engage in this activity. This is how I rehabilitate earth dogs. That's kind of a specialty for me. It's easy to engage earth dogs. For me, my personality, small dogs, 7 out here at the moment. Then these dogs are incredibly devoted and attentive to every word that their humans will say, every tiny little movement that their humans will do. But by the way, they can't be left alone. They're incredibly connected to their humans, more so than other dogs. This is the first time that Bon Scott's really getting in to have a good dig through this fibrous kind of material, which is very soft. It's all rotted down underneath there. So multiple pathways. This is perfect. This is as good as it gets. The only thing that could be better than this is if there was a rabbit or a decent rabbit warren, which you do get in the cities, not so much around here anymore since the last drought. But the rabbits will follow along the vegetation next to the watercourses, the riparian zone next to every watercourse. There's a Brisbane River down there. So there's got to be 20 metres of vegetation either side of the riverbank, and the same for every creek. So that's how you can have large populations of feral animals in urbanised, built up and generally industrialised areas of the cities. So this is a great find. This is perfect for today and for this week because these dogs had to spend a fair bit of time waiting for me. But they weren't engaged in work. They just had to wait. And I always make it up to them. And they know I do. So tomorrow, these dogs will be so relaxed, they'll be so calm, that people will be amazed. And then when we go to engage in some counselling and do some community support work, then they'll make a huge difference to people's lives. This is Razzle here, the mother of the pups. Still have these pups because nobody seems to be able to understand that this is what you do. It's not some big ordeal to go hunting in the city. You don't have to deal with the death. Very rarely have to deal with the death. And you very rarely have to deal with the mess. See, they're making a huge mess here. And we'll continue on our way. The other thing, these dogs never go on a lead. So you get around in the city without the dogs on lead. Obviously there's a lot of considerations as to where you go and when you go and how you go. I have these dogs impeccably responsive, and then I started to get a little bit wayward for the full moon last Tuesday, which is Saturday now, and then we're not too bad, so we have to go and do the hunting stimulation, so they're engaged. I spend a fair bit of time waiting around, but then when we go for their activities, they know what we're going for, and they know what they can and can't do and where they can and can't go, how it all works. So I very rarely even have to give commands or whistle. This last Tuesday under the eclipse, again, didn't catch anything. But they were happy. The last few days I've been having to work in an environment where they don't really get to work, they don't really get any stimulation, they just have to wait. I mean, it's an interesting environment for them, but they're not engaging with humans, not getting attention from me, having to deal with loud noises, construction. They want to be right there in the middle of the renovations there with you, next to the loud noise. But today they didn't really want to do anything that we're told. Even when it escalates and they really get told and they get commanded and get ordered and they get barked at. Still, sometimes I have to go and pick them up, carry them. Most of that is that they don't want to come inside, they just want to stay outside. Or we'll be at a place like this and they just won't want to get in the car. And this one's consistent. Every single time I'll put everyone else in the car, and then this one I've got to come back and find her. She's never too far away. She'll be sitting just below the crest of the hill, like this, and looking down over. Or she'll be underneath the tree, and just sitting looking. We don't hunt for native wildlife. So I'm sure she knows we're not allowed to hunt it, so she doesn't bark. She just sits there and looks at it. And she'll stay under a tree looking at a possum for 2 hours without making a sound. But today the rest of them are like that. So hence, we might spend an hour here. And this is what I have to do. It doesn't matter what my day's been like, what's going on for me, what my circumstances are, where I am, how I'm feeling, what I've got on in the morning, what time I've got to wake up. Doesn't matter. This is the most important thing. And if I do this, then all of my dogs are good as gold. This is nice and clean as well. They'll be clean By the time they're 30 metres away from this, when they're done, they'll be clean. No dirt. They won't smell. If you go down and get in the Brisbane River down there, they'll stink. So I'm not sure if there's something particular about this moon. It's quite a full-on full moon and eclipse. They always build up for a few days before the full moon. And also the last new moon as well was an eclipse, and they were going off like it was a full moon. So it'd be fair to surmise that the moon had something to do with their behaviours the last couple of days, were just a bit more stubborn and just cooped up, just pent up. Need to get out, stretch their legs. Even if we do a lot of exercise and there's nice comfortable furniture inside, air conditioning, they prefer to stay outside, just sit in the quiet of the night, which is a very quiet, still night. It's been like this for a few days, all week actually. So this is hunting. This is hunting in the city. This is how you engage earth dogs in hunting activity in the middle of the city. It's so effective immediately for all the little terriers, all the little dachshunds that have been left home alone all day. There's only one dog, so when the humans aren't there, they're there alone. It affects their health. It affects their mental health. It affects their physiological health. Makes them age quicker, essentially. You won't see that because they're so happy. The stress is over once you're back, but that stress has had an effect on the health. So this is the best way to harmonize the mental state and the metabolism and the physiological state of the dog. If you have a little Jack Russell, for instance, who's snapping and carrying on, always yapping, barking, or a little dachshund, or Elvis. And this is the mind of the dog, see? So he's an earth dog. This is his focus, this is his forte, but he'll start snapping at mosquitoes and then he'll fall down into the cracks. If we work with a dog on that level, they'll be very reliable, very consistent. It finally got me. She finally got me with a spray of dirt. So this is the first time the puppy's really getting in for a good dig. Their hunting instincts is coming in at 5 months now. It's just started to run after birds. We've got the juvenile magpies now coming out, squawking on the ground for their mother to feed them. Last week they were looking at them, just sit there looking at them. This week they're running for them. So now they're engaging in the digging. So it's not like you're wanting to train them as a killing, hunting dog, but they are that already. All those cute little dachshunds that you see around in the cities, they are the point of the arrow. Jack Russells, they are the best of the best. The only thing that's better at hunting under the ground than those two dogs is these dogs. This is a patterdale Staffhound Bull Terrier. Like I said before, there's 3 small ones is exactly what I was trying to create. And then we've got a throwback here for the patterdale terrier. So these dogs have been working as therapy dogs for young children and with elderly people with dementia since they were 32 days old. And they've just been playing with each other and developing. And it's only now, this is the first real hunting engagement for the pups at 5 months and 1 week. Before that, they didn't really know what they were doing. Now they're engaging. And there's so much scent here, I can smell it now. So this one's been dug out. There's a lot of that rot, but there's a really musty smell. So I'd say it's rodents, most likely rats. I'd say a colony of rats. And God knows how many would be in the colony. Could be 50, could be 70, could be 200. Looks as though Xena might have something here. And the puppies are even engaging in a bit of growling vocals. They're very tough dogs because of the way that their mother has conditioned them, the way they play with each other. But I'd say at this point now, they probably still wouldn't know what to do if they were faced right here with a rat that they've been actively digging after. However, this one here would soon deal with it and be happening so fast that you wouldn't even be able to catch it on this camera. Incredibly quick. And so this is the minimum that these dogs need essentially for their sanity, but this will do it. They're bred for foxes, this one's bred for badgers. Much larger prey. This one's bred for moving through the terrain in larger packs and working together in larger packs. The patterdale terrier was traditionally more of a one-on-one or one or two dogs will engage with a family of foxes or however many foxes you find under the ground. For the first 2.5 years of Xena's life here, she was a working dog. Apparently this dog here will go down a foxhole, find a mother fox with 4 cubs under the ground. That's going to be a nasty fight. And this small little dog here then comes up to halfway up my shin. Apparently she would kill them all under the ground. Then come back up. Incredibly happy and excited, but relaxed. There's the thing with these patterdales is that they are more relaxed when they're doing this. Like she's very relaxed now, whereas the Jack Russell will really get so excited he can't possibly regulate himself for another 2.5 hours, be panting and really hot, just so excited. So we're going to wrap it up here. Just because we've seen basically the same thing. This is perfect for planting a veggie garden. I think I'm going to bring back some pumpkin seeds and some potatoes and some beans and throw in here. Because it's all dug up, it's all mixed up, aerated. So this is the best find ever. That's why I just sit here and we'll talk and we'll just watch it. Because this is a softwood, it's rotted, it's got some termites. There's definitely something down here, definitely something down here, down here, down there, and over there. and then we're not too sure about over there. And there's very little chance of being able to find anything and kill it, or for the dogs to take any injury. They've got it in them to take on a much larger adversary. They have two different kind of responses, the patterdales. So they're in this prey kind of dig and seek, and they're excited and relaxed, and they're focused. So they get to express themselves, get it out of the system, get all the angst out of the system. Is satisfied. Better than sex. That's the effect on the endocrine system, I'm sure. It's better than sex. You know how the whole sexual animal kingdom is driven by sex. And when they have the mating instinct, it's very strong. It's very powerful. So we go down here and mark some territory. Sniff around, mark. So they're driven by this. For the undersexed dogs at least, they're very driven. But the hunting instinct to just constantly be looking and hunting is much stronger than that sexual instinct and that prey drive, or sorry, the drive to be the alpha. Those are very incredibly dynamic social creatures. The social hierarchy is constantly being checked in. Alright, so moving on. So you see the way that they move. So we're off on our walk now. So I needed to do that because we've spent, what have we got? 27 minutes. Spent 27 minutes excavating this tree stump. The gardeners are going to come here on Monday, and well, their work's been done for them. They can make a nice garden here. I think I might come back tomorrow and beat them to it. You know, this is perfect for guerrilla gardening. But because I've done this, this is the damage that they will do in the apartments and backyards. To your shoes and your furniture and at your friends' places, etc. But here, it's perfect. So because I've done that, and this is perfect, I can let him bark now at near midnight. There's no houses close enough to annoy. These guys, they're just playing now, they don't really know what they're doing. He's following Pebble. She's digging at a bit of fungi. There's fungi here. So this is a patterdale terrier. Short coat. Very slinky, very gentle. But incredibly effective. So because we've done this, and these dogs from this point on now are relaxed, they've de-stressed for the day, we could just go home now and be fine. Wouldn't even need to do any more exercise, but we're going to continue our walk now, do a few kilometers, and they will be good as gold now. We didn't get to do this on the full moon. It wasn't something, we didn't find anything like this where we could really engage. So they really needed it. Now that they've done that, I can be sure that these dogs will respond to my voice instantly, particularly if it is a call for them to come straight away, or to be quiet, or to stay. Again, they never go on lead. These pups have been on lead twice in their life, It was months ago. And it's simple. It's very simple. Alright, that's enough for now. Thanks guys. Over and out.